Hi, Charity Simmons, PSP fitness instructor and 200-hour yoga instructor from Cold Lake Air Base. Today I'm going to be doing a yin class for you. If you have a hard block and you want to get that, feel free. Also, if you have a soft block, we are going to be on our knee for a little bit, so if you want something to put on your knee, if you don't have a soft block, grab a towel and roll it up, or you can also roll your mat up. Going to read this out. In response to COVID-19, PSP is offering telefitness classes to Canadian Armed Forces members. By using social media platforms, the telefitness class tailored to Canadian Armed Forces personnel become accessible to all. Prior to participating in this session and to make an informed decision on whether you should seek advice from a qualified exercise professional or healthcare provider, consult your Get Active Questionnaire and Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and reference document. The link is posted in the event description. By continuing with this telefitness class, you understand that there is a possibility of physical injury and that you agree to do so voluntarily at your own risk. You also assume all risk of injury and agree to release the Canadian Armed Forces Morale and Welfare Services from any and all claims related to your participation in this telefitness class. You're going to begin in a seated position. You can go into half a full lotus, cross-legged on your knees. Just find a very comfortable position that you can sit up nice and tall. If you want to put a little block or bolster or your rolled up towel underneath your bum, feel free. Lengthening your spine, closing your eyes if that's comfortable for you. You're going to start with nice little circles with your upper body. The circles are getting a little bit bigger, about medium-sized circles. Keep lengthening, keep breathing. And then nice big circles, leading with your heart, lengthening your spine. And then back to medium-sized circles, so just a little bit smaller. And then tiny little circles, sitting up nice and tall. Try to inhale and exhale through your nose. Nice and slowly coming to a stop. Take your time and cross over the other direction. So whichever way you're crossed over, switch it up. Sitting up nice and tall again, lengthening and breathe. Starting with nice little circles the opposite direction. A little bit bigger circles. Try to relax your face, your mind. Just let everything go. And then nice big circles leading with your heart. Again, still lengthening that spine and breathing. And then back to medium-sized circles, so just a little bit smaller. And then sitting up nice and tall, lengthening, tiny little circles. Nice and slowly, making your way to a stop. Bringing your knees together, and then making your way onto all fours. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders, knees are directly underneath the hips. We're going to go into cat-cow. So eyes gazing forward, tailbone to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Slow and controlled. Feeling one vertebrae at a time. Lengthening. Continue doing this. You're just going to switch the breaths. So instead of inhaling when your eyes are to the light and exhaling when your head is to the earth, you're going to do the opposite. So inhale, round the back, tuck the chin. Exhale, eyes to the light. Continue to lengthen the spine, feeling each vertebrae lengthening and long in both positions as you inhale and exhale. Make sure you're going on your own time, on your own breath. And always remember, this is your practice. I am up here leading, but listen to your body. Slowly slowly making your way into neutral, grounding your knuckles to the earth, come onto your toes, push up and back into downward facing dog, sit bones to the sky, grounding the knuckles, lengthening the spine, flattening out the shoulder blades, dropping your head. Go ahead and bend your knees as much as you need to really get those sit bones nice and high to the sky. You can find stillness here, or if it feels good to pedal those feet, feel free to pedal. We're going to start with that left leg. Take the left leg to the sky. Inhale, hips are square. And then step that left foot all the way through. We're going to come down onto that right knee. That's where you can either roll up your mat or use that towel. Grab your block. You may or may not need it. So we're going to be in a low lunge position here. Instead of trying to get that stretch out of the lower back, I want you to focus on that hip flexor, that knee that is on the earth, getting into the hip flexor. So you can choose to stay here on your thigh, use your block, or bring your hands right down to the earth. If you're really rounding that back, that's where I want you to use the block. I like to come onto my knuckles, but that's up to you. Try to lengthen the spine, finding your breath. I'm going to keep adding on to this position. You can choose to add on with me or stay exactly where you're at. I'm going to keep my right hand on the earth or my right knuckle, left hand to left hip or left knee. Just give that knee just a little bit of a, not reefing on it, but just pushing it out to the side, making sure the ankle and leg are in line. Just kind of open up that hip a little bit more. And then if you can, with a nice flat back, a nice straight back, start to look over that left shoulder. If you want, you can bend that back knee. You can take your left hand and grab onto that right foot if you like. Try to open up the shoulder. Don't reef on the knee to grab it. Listen to your body. Keep lengthening the spine and keep breathing. Slowly release that leg, come back to center. Now I want a hand on each side of that front foot. Keep your hips square as you slowly walk your bum back. Keep lengthening the spine. Again, you can use one or two blocks here. Prop yourself up and breathe. slowly find that lunge in that front leg again. Both hands on the inside of that front leg. On your knuckles, on your hands, on your block. We're going to stretch out that hip flexor one more time. You can choose to stay up nice and tall here. If you want to make your way down onto your forearms here. I like to walk the left leg out to the side a little bit more, just to give a little more room for those hips to sink in a little deeper. Find your variation, but again, if you're really rounding, really reaching, that's when you would use a block or come up onto your thigh. Coming up onto your hand, one more time, a hand on each side of that front foot. And again, walking that bum back, stretching out that hamstring again. This time though, you can stay where you were at on the block, hands to the earth, or you can bring that head, chest, right to that thigh, drop your head, and then do whatever feels good here. Maybe massaging that hamstring a little bit. Like I said, maybe dropping the head, hugging your arms around that leg. Kind of find your variation of the pose. Keep your hips square and breathe. Good. Slowly find that lunge in that front leg, hands to the earth, and then take that leg back so you're on both knees again. You're going to have those hands just a little farther forward, still shoulder width apart. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, push your bum back in the resting child. Again, just keep going through this, lengthening the spine in both positions, breathing. But go on your own time, on your own breath. Always remember, this is your practice. Listen to your body. If I'm asking for a pose and your body is not happy with that, find a position that works for yourself. Coming onto all fours again, onto your toes, push up and back, down dog. Sit bones to the sky, grounding the knuckles to the earth, dropping the head. finding stillness or if pedaling feels good for you. We're going to stay with that same leg. So the left leg again, take it to the sky, hips are square, and then bring it through left knee by left wrist. Hold your back toes under, lengthen that back leg. If there's any pain or discomfort in this front knee, then go ahead and lay on your back and stretch your hamstring out on your back. Keeping your hips square, choosing to stay up nice and tall, lengthening the spine, really getting into that hip flexor of that lengthened leg. If you want to try and get into the glute a little bit more, start to hinge it forward, choosing to come down onto your hands, your forearms, stack your fists one on top of the other. This is where you use your block for your forehead. Or if you want, make your way right to the earth. You can choose to bring this foot out at a 90 degree. So if you want to bring this knee out at a 90 degree, that is definitely a choice. You could start walking yourself back a little bit and try to bring this knee out a little bit more, or foot out a little bit more, so the left foot is by the right wrist. If there's discomfort or any pain in that back knee, come onto the back toes, it'll take a little bit of weight off, or use your cushion again for that back knee. Finding your variation of the pose, lengthen the spine, keep the hips square, and breathe. Getting out of the position is just as important as getting into one. So coming onto your hands, protect this bent leg. Come onto your toes. Push up and back. You can go right into down dog if you want, or I like to take that bent leg right up to the sky, extend it, lengthen it, stretch it, and then round the back, tuck the chin, bring the knee to your chest, and then again lengthen, extend. I like doing that a couple times on my own breath before I take it into down dog. If you want to go straight into down dog, feel free. If you want to find stillness, if you want to pedal, just try to get out the kinks, find whatever works for you. And then we're going to move on to our right leg. So take your right leg to maximum height, hips are square, and then step it through. Bringing that left knee down to the earth, use that pad again. So just because you're using a pad doesn't mean you're grinding the knee into the earth. Lift the quad, take the weight out of the knee. Again, you can stay here with your hands on your thigh. You can use that block if you like. You can bring your hands right down onto the earth, go to the knuckles, whatever works for you, but I want that nice long spine. And again, we're focusing on stretching out that hip flexor and that back leg. I like to walk that right foot out a little bit so my hips sink just a little bit deeper. You can choose to stay right here if you like, or keep that left hand on the earth, right hand to right knee. Just give a little bit of tension, push that knee out, but don't reef on it. And I want that ankle in line with the rest of the leg. Keep lengthening the spine. If you want, you can start to look over that right shoulder. You can choose to stay here, or you can bend that left knee, grab onto it with that right hand, open up your chest, lengthening the spine, and breathe. Don't twist the knee to be able to grab it. Slowly releasing that leg. Bring yourself back around to center, but now put a hand on each side of that front foot, and then slowly start to walk your hips back, stretching out the hamstring on that front leg. Again, you can use your blocks here, lengthening your spine, keep your hips square, and breathe. Slowly. Find that lunge in the front leg, both hands on the inside of that front leg. You can choose to stay up nice and tall like we already did. Come onto your block. If you want to bring it down onto your forearms, feel free, but again, I want a nice long spine. Good, again. Bring those hands, one on each side of that front foot. And one more time, pushing that bum back, hips are square, lengthening. And then any variation you'd like. If you like bringing that thigh or that chest right to that thigh, keep your hips square. Maybe you self-massage that hamstring a little bit. You can hug the hamstring, tuck your chin. You might find a little more of a stretch or where you need it. If you kind of drop your head. Slowly find that bend in that front leg and slide that leg back so you're on all fours again. And then again, hands a little farther forward than shoulders, but about shoulder width apart. Lengthen, plank from your knees. Inhale. Exhale, push that thumb back into resting child. Again, on your own time, on your own breath. Lengthening the spine in both positions. And then one more time into downward facing dog. Push your sit bones up to the sky. We're going to hit that right leg one more time. Hips are square. Inhale. And exhale, bring that knee all the way through. Right knee by right wrist. Lengthening that back leg behind you. Again, pain or discomfort in this front knee, then come onto your back. Pain or discomfort in the back knee, come onto those toes. You can choose to stay up tall, get that hip flexor, or if you want to come down, it still gets into the hip flexor, but you start to hit that glute in that bent leg a little more. Find your variation or any equipment you need, something underneath that back knee, something underneath your bum, your head, and find your breath. Again, getting out of a position is just as important as getting in. Come onto your hands, your back toes. Either go into down dog or take that leg right up to the sky, extend, lengthen, then round the back, tuck the chin, knee to your chest. Just do that a couple times just to get out any kinks before you go into down dog, or go into down dog, find stillness, pedal. Just kind of do whatever works for you to get out the kinks. We're going to make our way to our knees. I'm going to cross at the ankles and come onto my bum, but you come onto your bum however you like, and then make your way to your back. Kind of do anything that feels good for a couple of breaths. Make any movements. Cannonball, knees drift from side to side. Stretch your body out. And then we're going to make our way into Savasana. Legs out to the side, or feet fall out to the side, palms to the sky. Finding your quiet, finding your silence. Try to relax your mind, your body. Sink deeper into the mat. I'm going to leave you in Savasana. So have a beautiful day. Drink lots of water. Bye, guys.